Hi guys. Hi Rachel, I saw your missed call. I will call you back. It's only because in Japan Live I'll call you back. Hi Sunshine. Leah, this is Melly. This is Melly Revana. Ndandichitira kudya chikafu changu. Joyce, sure muri kuona sesimeli here guys. Ndangotumwawo kuna guest. Hi Leah. Wazonyatsoona ka kuti havasi sesimeli. Kuna guest wandatumwa kunzi ndiuye naye. Mazuva ndiri kungotumwa. Sunshine, ndanchidya chicken. Hi Regina, ndakafanira sesimeli. Manje mune muchitiona tina 20 wangu. Takajaira ivo. I know. Mazuva ndiri kudhererwa ndiri kungonzi ndikaita day off ndanzi palife. Hi Sikanyisiwe. Hi Sikanyisiwe. Hi Ingidza. Ndape. Hi everybody. Hi. Hi Cherry. How are you Sazi? Ndangotumwa zvikanzi pana guest ada kuuya live. Ani nyaya yake yaruda kutaura. Can you guys hear me? Is my sound okay? Ndowanzofarira zvekutambira mumaterrace mazuva ndiri kudhererwa. Anzonotumika hako boss zvekuti. Unoramba sei sha? Hi Rachel, how are you? Unoramba sei hi Deborah. Unoramba sei kana watumwa nemunhu mukuru kwauri na big sister. Unotongopfuma. I hope makatenga matickets guys. I hope makatenga matickets. Ndikuramba ndichitaura nyematickets because kuchafarwa musi wa 24. Nanishtaura na Taylor wangu today. I'm like, yo, I think I need you to make me a dress because this is not going to work. Ndambotira zvodotenga online ndikati ko yakashata. Ko ikanonoka kuuya. Ko ikaramba kukwana. Ko ikaita hombe. So yeah. But we've got a guest. Apparently somebody had my topic last week and wanted to come on. Ndoda kudya chicken yangu but my diaries ndokuziva. Munoskara mandituka kuti anzuri kutsenga. So yeah, hi Tariro. Ndanzwa kunzi unogara uri kuteresa usikubatika. Mazuva ndakubatika. Muri kumbondibatawo ka 1-2 days kako. Mumbondibatawo. Sorry nya ndakana makeup kana chii ndanyatsouya ndauya ndiri fresh face. Hi ma'am, how are you? Hi Amy. Kana muchiti hondi wecherry poke zvinoreve. Takaimandudzwa kuti zvinoreve kana muchiti hondi wecherry poke. Oh, thank you, Joyce. It's my daughter's name. Ndina akawanda matatu. Auntie S, and your team. We appreciate you. Varikuronga. But thank you, ma'am. Ndanyatsoya ina zvemakeup mazuva zvakunetsa kubvira pakatanga COVID kana kubasa handizori makeup. Vanondiona ndakadaro. Yeke. Hanzi unozotora murume akuona wakaisa facebit mosvika ona wabvisa makeup ona hanzi nandiselina kuondiwe cheri ndini wacho ndini in the flesh. Handikuzive ndongoziva kuti tina cheri. Ndiri pano Amy. I'm here. I'm normally in the comment section or sometimes I come as the actual page just kuti kune vamwe vanhu vanombofarisa munozviziva kune vanhu vanomboposta vachiposta zvisina nebasa. Let me just check on our guest. Ndandisiri muWhatsApp group revanhu vane mafone 2. Ndane mafone 2. No, I had another phone. So it took me a little bit of a while to sort out my other phone. So yeah, kushanda. Well, it worked anyway, but I just don't have 2 phones. Good to see you too, Emmy. It was lovely to meet. It's lovely to meet you. manje kubho ini ndibva ndagara ndangokudzai handi muri kundoona zvinhu ndakadai so kubho munenge musingandirecognize. I'll be giving you rich anti vibes. Saka moto enlista ma makeup artist because inini from hair, makeup, nails, hembe zvese ndabuda bag guys, ndabuda bag nenyaya yeball. Ndoda to kubho ndakataura kuti the first 10 people that I see musiwo shots are me. I think Gladys ndakampromisa one. Saka the first 10 people vandichaona kubho mama mangu ndonza toenda paba. In fact ndichangogara ndangoisa card rangu paba. Hi Vimbai, hi Schoolie, how are you? We are still selling tickets, Celia. Tine, about 9 left. Honestly, it's been absolutely amazing, the response we got. It's our first one. It's been a lot of ups and downs. My Tau has been working so hard. Auntie Selina is also part of that team. As admins, we had been asked to step. Michine. We were asked to pindire. They did an amazing job. I can tell you, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, top notch. They're working so hard. Hanzi mukandona kubho itirai hai mumoyo firita ichitarisisa ichati rasisa purisa. Yeah, hi Mary. Manje kubho ndangoti vanhu 10 vari kutanga kudhumana neni kubho. 10 chat, and kutomboda more than 10. Ukazosvika uri number 11 unenge watoirasa. I just want 10 people vandu kungotengera mashots. I think the guest is ready. SIS MELLY vanenge vakuna kudzana kutambira mu comment section because ndikuona ka excitement kavari kuita mazuva ano kukudzwa kuti cheri kune guest because vakuona kuti kukomenta uri mu comment section kunonakidza. Hi Mike Kuda, how are you? I'm just going to pick up our guest call. Hello.
Hello, Sis Terry. How are you?
I'm fine. I want number 11. I think that's any drama. Sorry, Sissy, my sister. I'm just going to call you Sue for today. Vanhu vacho vachiri kumbopinda. Ndanichingodza vanhu kuti vanhu vari kuuya kubho pane vanhu 10 vandoda kutengera mashots. Wechi 11 ndinenge rato drama. Ndoda kungotengera 10 chat. Can you hear me, sis?
Loud and clear. Murikunzwika zviri right.
Okay, my sister. Saka ndebe yenyu.
Ndiri right, makadi yenyu.
Tiripo.
Yeah.
Murikunzwa here guest. Ndisati ndatanga kutaura na guest. Can you hear her? Can you hear the guest? Can somebody just let me know if you can hear the guest? Okay. I think Vargas my like, so I think that means they can hear you. Okay, sis. Chitanga yenyu kutaura.
Okay, so ndakanzwa live yamakaita last week. And specifically point yakandibata inyaya yevarume vanemungo vasingadi zvekushanda. Especially vakasangana nemukadzi anenge ari independent ane zvinhu zvake. I don't think it's an issue kuti munhu anongotanga kungoita nezvinhu zvake. It also touches upbringing yako. Kuti wakakudzwa sei uri munhu. If you grow up in a household unenge ine vanhu vanenge vari strong. Saka ndakakudzwa muhousehold manga muna very strong mother. Akandidzidzisa kuti unofanirwa kuzvimirira uri mukadzi. At the same time ndaivaona vachiremekedza baba vangu. And akakura in a household like that. Saka I'm very independent and ndofunga kuti zvichaga munhu wemurume ndingatsvaga munhu anenge ane ari strong anokwanisa kundiisa munzvimbo mangu, anokwanisa kundileader from the front. But what I'm finding now kuti vamwe varume vasi kuita zvanofanirwa kuita vakungopeta maoko avo vongoregera mukadzi kuti angoleader from the front angoita zvinhu zvese financially. Nekuti ini I think personally zvanenge ndichingofunga ndiri munhu wemukadzi kana ndine murume anenge ndinaye pamba ipapo, murume must take care of zvikwereti zvihombe pamba. Say for instance kana chibhadhara mortgage, ngaabhadhare mortgage, ngaatake care of the big expenses. Ini semunhu wamai I'll take care of zvinhu zvinenge zvemukitchen, zvinhu zvinenge zviri zvekugadzira pamba, kutengera vana nhumbi and things like that. But ndiri kuona kuti it's not what is happening. Saka in my personal experience, ngani vamwe baba so baba vanga vachita look very expensive. Vachipfeka nhumbi dzinodhura and vaita kunge munhu atori rich. And pandakasangana navo, I'd come out of a marriage kwandanga ndiri before. Murume ananga ndinaye before aichengeta zvinhu zvese pamba. I can't even complain. Aindichengeta, mari yangu yanga ingori mari kutamba pamba. Aita zvese. Saka now I didn't want kuti nditsvage munhu angoriwo ndingotani bhangu asina mari. Ndikangotsvagwa munhu angoriwo muclass mangu imomo. Not knowing kuti baba ava vaingoita put up appearances. Waingoona munhu anenge ane mari asina mari.
Close my door.
Vaipfeka.
Yes, you can. Can you close my door, please? Thank you. Sorry. Yes, keep going, sis.
Saka vaipfeka nhumbi dzinodhura, vaipfeka mawachi anodhura, vaigeza baba ivavo, and he used to smell very nice. Unoziva kana une munhu wako anochena anonatsa kugeza. Asina zvingaka. That was the man vanga ndinaye. But apa bhangu yanga asina mari, but I never came through. Asanga ane nungo. And zvandakazoona later, just to fast forward nyaya yacho, ndezvekuti baba ava vaita put up this look to attract vakadzi vane mari. That was the way he used to get mukadzi anenge ane mari. Vaizvita kunge munhu ane mari ivo vasina mari. Saka kubasa, you know.
Quick question. Bhangu paakatanga kudana nemi, mamsingambobvunzo here kuti unoenda kubasa here? Like, did you not had an opportunity to see him achienda kubasa, or did you not question kuti mari iri kubva kupi, hembe dzinodhura uri kudziwana kupi?
Aiwa, murume uyu ndaitoshanda naye. He was actually, if I can say, but randoita anga ari client kwandiri company imomo. And anga ane title. Ukaenda pa email pake wainatsa kuona title munhu mukuru finance manager, unatsa kufunga kuti munhu aripo ane zvinhu zvake. Not knowing kuti title yaanayo haina bank. Yanga ingori zita chete, but bank ranga risipo, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Saka madates ese aindisa kuma-holidays. But zvandakazobata later, baba vaishandisa ma-credit cards. Saka aita kunge munhu ane mari, but he was using a lot of credit. Mukadzi wake anga ambori naye before, anga ari housewife, aigara pamba asingashanda achimitira zvese, you know. And I thought kuti ari capable. He was capable of taking care of household yake anga anayo nemukadzi wake ipapo.
Right.
But now paakasangana neni, he akatanga kurelaxa. Zvekuti agara achingondipraise kuti do you know what, you're an independent woman, une zvinhu zvako, you're a strong woman, une zvinhu zvako nemari dzako. Not knowing kuti it was an opportunity yake kuti aite se arelaxe, agare back and do nothing. Saka I pretenda kungofanda my expenses apa neapa.
Right.
And yeah, saka takadata for about 6 years.
Wow.
And
just dating, no engagement, no nothing.
Sorry. No, he just, you know.
Yeah.
But now, after 6 years, it was the house yanga nemukadzi wake wekudhara. And then it's time for us to get married. Saka, can I move in with you? Kubva move in nini pamba pangu, staying with me nevana vangu, you know. And then akati kwandiri no, patinochata. Why do you want to get married out of community of property? That it had in community of property because I'm in this for the long haul. As I could divorce her as well. I'm going to be with you. Yeah. No, but ngati sign a contract. He managed to convince me. Okay, fine. Ngati in community of property.
Yeah.
Not knowing that Baba Awa was a fraudster. So laziness yacho had gotten to a point if I marry this woman, because now are married to me, you know.
But sis,
I didn't realize it.
I see witchcraft here. Data 6 years. Were you guys dating with intention? Was it because you were not in a rush? Because I don't understand how someone can date you for 6 years. 6. Kuroya go. Muroi. Asimunu. 6 years.
I got why should we get married? Why should we get married? Until he lost Shinshake. After his divorce got finalized, he lost a lot of things. I can't sleep on my assets. He had nothing.
Okay.
So I think Pakazukara 6 years, you know, Pakazona put in next space to move Yaki. Uchata Nini and they move in with me.
1 second, sis. 1 second.
1 second.
Raphael?
My house. I put a family in Bandeyake. Mukadzan Karapamba Pangu Nivanarake. The one time Kavatazorwa, Tarwa Pepper, imagine to come to get out of my house. If I get out of my house, I kind of was like
Right.
Sisipate kubva vati kwaari, go and kick her out of your house nevana vake, not knowing kuti imba ndeyangu. She didn't understand the dynamics at the time. You know.
Yeah.
So it was one of the situations where I realized, okay, fine, saka akanyeba kune vanhu, saka everything zvaaionesa vanhu aionesa kunge zvinhu zvake.
Yeah.
Inwa zvanga zviri zvinhu zvangu, but dzanga dzingori nungo dzake dzokusada kushanda. Then,
can I ask you a question, sis? The time that he moved in with you, was he paying bills?
Yeah, that's the next point. I'm not going to pay my bills.
Okay.
What he basically paid was the water and lights, the satellite TV. That's all he paid for. Ndakatanga kubvunza kuti konai komari zvikanzi handihori mari yakawanda. Handihori mari yakawanda.
Rafael.
Ndakandine shamwari yanga ngari ku HR in the same company. I'd already left the company. But ndamubvunza shamwari yangu ndikati mbopinda murekodha baba umbona vanohora mari. You know, when she told me, my jaw fell. My jaw was on the ground. I could not believe.
Hey, keep going, sis.
Don't go so little money. But it didn't bother me for the longest time. I think my statement was, I'm trying to retire early. Also, because Baba was older than me by 13 years. So I can't remember what I'm older than you by 13 years. I can't get cash, so I actually bought. But in that way, it was just disaster.
Wait, so the actual family thought his family thought the house was his.
Exactly. Right from God to so his family actually thought he's the man. Including me, he's taking care of business as a man should, and not knowing it was the other way around. Because I keep up my appearances. I thought one believe in Dosha and I cheat. I was on put and catch what if maybe if you get another job, you get better income.
Yeah.
I comfortable koko. So now to try and compensate Pamba, but instead of mentioning with noise because I'd make noise. I'd say I'm paying the mortgage. I'm paying school fees Sevana. I'm paying all the heavy bills. Yeah, but I'm going to pay water and lights. I mean, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Because now I feel because of the marriage that we're in.
Yeah.
Achingoramba. So now to try and compensate Shinisho, Panga Skaguno Pisamari, Anga Kubika. Ndaishika kumba after iyashika manheru ndaishika munabika aibika weekends pepe aimuka aicleaner. Didn't have a helper. Aicleaner imba kunasa kucleaner. When I realized that this guy has it right, anga kugeza nemabhurugwa angu achipinda mumba achida kugeza mawashing, and I'm like, guy, no, washing ndogeza ndega aigeza zvese mumba kuti no, relax. That was his way of trying to compensate, but at some point in time it got ridiculous. I'm not sure, because now you start losing respect for Munakadaro. How do you respect Munakadaro?
Yeah.
I'm very busy. Now he's taken over role yangu as Amaive Pamba. You know.
He was pacifying you, basically.
He was pacifying me to set out Kawanda. But I think Panga to feel like inadequacy. And then Mama Baba Baifunga Kutani big. Basingazi Baba Awa is up to nonsense.
My guy, pick a struggle. How do you cheat? How do you cheat when you don't want to provide? How are you cheating? Explain that to me.
Credit card. Ndoranga achishandisa iroro credit card ndoraibhadhara naro.
Ranga risina limit re credit card. Amex re ranga risina limit.
And I don't really know the thing in the details, but my credit cards kind of already married and it.
Yeah.
Some expenses they might say cards and sign anyway because she must know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
However, can I my credit cards about combination? I'm not going to credit card. I married one and the spouse are which credit card. I never knew. Nasa nisutanga credit limit mari.
Pakuhura pa maifana kurowa munhu akoma maifana ngwena unosunga munhu kungonosunga munhu. What the hell?
Okay, so I didn't know about this affair. Like I find out about the affair after 2 years. That's when I found out Kusangani affair. because mukadzi wacho akazodhinika mwezi wakubva ameno namba yangu akaiwana kupi kubva afona zvikanzi murume uyu hadi kubvisa mari anondibhohwa pamwe mukacheta anga ambori sei aita sei ndikati ndiwe mukadzi wacho zvikanzi yes. She actually revealed herself to me. I didn't even know vanga vane affair before.
The nerve.
Akazotsamwawo because anga asina exactly the nerve, you know. But I told her straight because baba vanamari avanonyeba. Saka what happened is pandakazoona kuti no man, this guy zvinhu hazvisi bo ndakazomudivorca because I realized kuti he was in it for mari dzangu nezvinhu zvangu. Saka I ended up getting divorced kwaari. Pandakamuudza kuti I'm filing for divorce. Let's file for divorce. But it wasn't kuti ndiramba nenaye because I still loved him.
Yes.
It was basically kuti nullify mchacho wacho. Then we sign a contract and then what is his and what is mine is mine.
Did you asi ex-bank wrong wangwane good digging because akoma what you loved what asi my pity guru kunge sunny side up here because akuna zvakadai.
You know, it talks about topic last week. You mentioned something last week as well, life, Marco. And you said, you're going to be looking, you know, you're a bit older now. It's not always easy to find Munu. You end up settle for what you find. Saka, you might not get the full package that you're looking for, but you don't go settle
sis, wait. I can't. No, nix. 6 years. No marriage proposal. No nothing. Topinda marriage. Marriage. Akuna dora rakadaro. 13 years mwanaume wangu 13 years wobvoti dora akuna dora rakadaro. Akuna never. Saka tambo yanga isingasviki. Saka moti nzara bedroom. Moti nzara mumba. Moti witchcraft yekuchengeta yekugara nemunhu 6 years. Saka pa dating akoma munoziva because inini ndonyadzonzwisisa saka because nichadzokera ku dating iwe. Sorry, excuse me 1 second. Raphael, go downstairs. Go get ice cream from Jenna, please. Go get ice cream. Go get ice cream. Jenna's calling you to come and get ice cream. Aka enemy of progress. Saka 26 years. Tichidana nemunhu. Ane kadora. Akoma mova manopinda marriage nedora. Aiwa akoma. Monopinda marriage nedora.
Ndowisisa, you know, pandotaisa kumasura ndozvona kuti asineni woko ndakandapindwa nechinai. And I got a desperation because out of divorce yangu, it was 4 years of trying to find umwe munhu.
Yeah.
4 years of up and down. Saka pakazongouyawo ndikati, okay, fine. Atori divorced, ari single. Somewhere we can get along. It's settling. It was basically settling. Just saying kungobvuma zviripo, kungofamba nebhora riripo, you know.
Akoma because akoma anga see a whole marriage. I just like thinking back at my marriage, I could not leave my husband that I was with. Kwena kunopinda mudora akoma tambo yobverekedza kusvika. Woti kuchengeta murume apa tambo isikusvika. At least kana munhu ane package dzake unongochipa excuse yekuti guys you don't know him like I know him. Because unongochirohwa zvinhu zvokuti kana iwo hama dzako dzikakudza kuti musiye murume hapana chanacho. Unovaudza kuti aiwa no you don't know him like I know him. Don't put up marriage. And the thing is, I think that's the other problem that happens when we come out of these marriages because unenge pamwe wacondition wawaudzwa kunzi you're never going to find someone else. Yeah, ndiana chakuda nevana vako. Yeah, chakati. You almost tell yourself kuti you know what, I'm going to settle. But God, that would never be my portion. Ndaramba mwari dai muri kundinzwa ndinzwirewo nyasha. Dora. Woti dora, woti credit card. Woti tokolo, udana ni tokoloshi. Ayewa, pick a struggle. Bobo, I am.
Ayewa, you know, it's one of those numbers where I never have nice, handsome guys.
Yeah.
You know what? I really love you. But they won't go any mana 1, 2, and 2 and go now. They won't carry 1 mana 2. They say Dora women out into doorway. It's not possible. So go see an anasho. Akawea food at the same thing. Akawea shikans when I noise. You know, it was one of those where we are in Gumalavango. We seem to love my kids a lot. And can go, I get along.
Because Angane Dora, he had nothing else to offer. So literally what he was bringing to the table is liability. My question now is, did you then, like, did you have to share your stuff, or aka agree to you splitting your assets fairly?
When we at the time of the divorce?
Yeah, pamama so decide kuti hazvisikushanda, you know.
Aiwa, ndakamukuruka baba. Saka zvakazoitika manje anga ane pension fund yake. Saka iye I don't think kuti ainzwisisa mutemo tunoshanda sei.
Yeah.
I would have only been entitled to pension money yake, half of his pension money, for nguva yatanga takaroorana, which was about 2 years, right? Saka I would have only taken a portion of mari yake for 2 years of the marriage, anditi. Saka iye anga asingazive, aifunga ndichatora yese, because akakuruka mukadzi wekutanga and he walked away nepension yake yese.
Right.
Saka aifunga ndichatora pension yake. Saka I said to him, this is the deal. I keep my house, you keep your pension. Akafara zvikanzi ndiyodhirira chiroro ndiroro. Saka that's how I managed to walk away nemba yangu and not have to share anything naye. Chikwereti ndakachengeta mota yangu yanga iri paid off, ndikamupa mota yanga ine chikwereti because ndaiziva kuti agonoibhadhara. And already mota yakatotorwa nebank, haasitomborina mota iyoyo. Saka ndakamupa maliability amwe, ndikachengeta what I could, which didn't incur my expenses kwandiri.
But akoma rewind, sure 13 years muchidhila nedora. Ai. Akoma.
It was 9 years actually. It was 9.
Kana 2 days akoma. Dora, kana 2 days. 9 years. How many months is that? Uchirowa nedora.
Unorijaira.
Akuna.
Unojaira. I'm telling you.
Saka my chimera zvefeka akoma.
Unongoona yekutamba ndiyo wanenge wangopiwa ndobhora rinenge rikungofamba nebhora.
Saka koma mamune ma-sex toys ere.
I was going to get to that because yes, toys are very important. And I be willing to because we must include my toys in bedroom. Amanga asingawezi so tanga atori ango kutonakirwa because ndaikona kuti apa ishara chete apa munhu pane ishara. Saka my toys taingoma introduce kungoitira, you know.
My ones are so to mchikafu ero mukoma because apuna munhu anorowa 9 years achitamba.
You know, looking back now ndakutanga kufunga kuti asindakagarire paya. Ndakutanga kuzvibvunza zvinhu zvakawanda kuti munhu anga asitomborina mari angori nenungo dzake, you know. Sometimes tiri vakadzi tongoita settle for whatever because unengobuda murelationship une vana.
I suppose as well
the important thing was kuti ndichate because ndagara chingodzi nevanhu, uri single. I was divorced at the age of 27. It was very young. Ndikafunga ndikati aiwa saka ndofa ndiri 27 ndisina murume here.
No, yeah.
Saka it was settling because now une vana. I want to be called a Mrs. again. Ndakabva kudivorce. Now I want to be married. Right. It was all about that. I wanted to have the title. You know, sometimes like I say, it's not an achievement. It's good if you have it. It's good if you're happy. But it's not an achievement. You can still be happy with marriage. Yeah. And I think that's a thing that we fail to accept Tirilano because you want to appear you like everyone else, you're the same. My friends they're all having weddings. You also want to plan a wedding. I think I go to pressure, societal pressure as well. I suppose, but I think I don't know. Maybe it's so different for me because then I feel like pandakango testa ka freedom I can do zvinhu and I can live in my house and look after my kids and not have to worry about answering to someone or worrying kuti zvinhu zvichazovatidzwa nani. Liberty ndakunzwa mudiwa wangu. Dai wangu yako nemobedza kuLiberty because ina handisi kugara 6 years my guy. Ingo yako wobhoya nereference kubva kuna ex wako Liberty. Ndoda reference kubva kuna ex wako wongondiratidzawo credit score yako Liberty. Wobva wongondiratidzawo bank account. Handisi kutomboda kuti mari inotyisa. Ndodawo kana mapayslip say 6 months. Tova data relationship handisi kuramba Liberty. Handisi kutomboramba. I suppose, but I feel like empowerment kanuyane divorce. It's sad. I really, honestly, that is not what I wished for myself. Like I would never wish divorce on anyone, and I wouldn't want to glorify being divorced. But at the same time, ndasvika pa stage kuti now ndayitaura last week. I don't know if you heard me saying kuti last week anditi. Especially nangu ndiri munhu ari open. I'm an open book. I don't really andisi munhu anoda kuwandisa zveupenyu hwake. I find kuti now my expectations are very different. I don't think munhu could convince me kuti ndipinde mu relationship naye pasina
zvandiri kubenefita inini per se. I think because ndasvika pastage yairi dangerous yekuti ndakwanisa kuzviitira zvese ndega handiti, and vana ndanavo saka ndina pressure yekuti ndinopinda mumarriage again because ndiri kuda vana or ndiri kuda title. Ndakamboiita, you know, I was somebody's missus. So now I want to date somebody that really has my you know, my interests at heart, that values me. I want to be able to not feel like I don't have to be myself. And they're gonna have to apply some type of different pressure, you know, like you're gonna have to come different, you're gonna have to hit me with a different stroke, you know. So ukandidzipa life insurance inoshaya kuti munhu angachizvita sei neupenyu hwake kind of thing, you know. And I'm finding with coming out of a marriage and knowing what I don't want, I'm very selective now of the people that I let around my space, because ndakunyatsoziva kuti handisi kuda giribhedha chachindirova bag, not kuti ndine bag rinoshamsira, but I don't want to work like that. I want to be a woman in the relationship. Ini ndinotaurisa saka neshoda munhu anonditi akanditi hey ndinojamba ndichidonha kubva pambedha kuti you know, munajova, you know, kind of thing. And I don't really, and I also probably, you know, criteria kangu ka nedzungu mukati, because andisisiri mandara zvokuti ndinotya kuti ndichashaya vana or ndichashaya nondirora vanhu vomba kwedu vakatombotya upfuma. It sounds very selfish, but I want a man that's going to come and edify what I've already put together for myself, because then I know I work hard, sis. You sound like somebody that's exactly like me. You work very hard, you're done so well for yourself, you got your house, you got your kids, you don't really deserve Dora. I'm sorry, at this point in time I'm not looking for Dora. I don't want that. Flipper like a pancake. So what kana akabva pamba ndosara ndine dzungu ndinoitwa ngemwana asatambo ngemwana yapiwa sweet for the first time kuita sugar rush mwekuti vanhu vanobvunza nemwana yakakwana here. You know, ndoda munhu anonditenderedza musoro zvokuti ndinozvibvunza kuti am I 16 or 25 or 30 plus. Ndikutodawo munhu anondidzungaidza zvokuti kana ndakuudza vanhu ndakamira pavanhu vachibvunza kuti unooneko paari, unongochingoti guys, you don't know him like I do, you know. And I feel like this man, I think he had already noticed that you're a hardworking person. Angatona that your life is together. And this is the mistake that we make. We jump into situations. And I think I've had someone actually tell me from the beginning, I like you, you're a really nice person, but I can't give you what you want and this is my relationship. And I am very open about it. From the word go. Nditoli serious guys. Vandatoudza munhu kuti inini ndiri munhu wema feelings. Ndopinda feelings seshe my feelings. And ndiri munhu wema relationships. Saka zvema fuck buddies zvinonetsa zvondiremera my streets and tomboremere my streets when it comes to that, because I'm a relationship kind of mukatongondidzumaiza soka ndinotoita dzungu rimwe rekuti kana pocket money yese ndogona kukupa zvandai, you know. So I'm really very now protective of myself and my space, and because I feel like heartbreak marriage it's a different kind of heartbreak. Like it's so different. I'm moving on. But marriage, that was a different level of heartbreak. That's like I don't even know. And I think it's worse off if you've been, like you're explaining, you've been through so much. And then I went through losing a child and all that stuff with this person. So it became, even my picture now, my picture and I post up on Facebook, no matter delete I say, mambo na my memories and your phone pipe and I choose go big na zuka. Unoridza imwe tsamo yekuti kana yezuka no shout kupinda zvikubva ndakambodawo shout ndade unomuyora pa page pake makuya kuti iwe uri une dzungu iwe indochita zvinhu zvakapsaudariwa akudza kuti udzose ma memories ndiani
exactly that is so true.
So are you dating?
That is so true.
Are you dating again now, or have you just given up?
No, I'm not dating. Ndakasiyana nazvo because I just realized kuti I think I'm just a different type of person. Pane vamwe vanhu vakadzi vangori very independent to point yokuti anenge asikatombonyaudzwa and ndotombonyaudzwa. I've gotten to that point. I think also nyaya dzevadzimu vangu avadi murume around me. I've had to accept ancestral calling yangu. Ndongosiyana nazvo kuti mudzimu wangu aude murume.
Aiwa mudzimu ngaumbopai mukana mumbonodyiwa mbijana because mama akasungirwa nanyesi. Mudzimu yo ndokumbira ndoutengera doro zvangu ndobikira doro. Ngaumbokupai kana 1 year chete 1 year mumbonosangana na Gilbert anokutsokonyodza izvo kuti wozokutanga kugara kana mambopedza. What? How? Sis, if you don't mind, just roughly age group.
This year I'm 44.
Aiwa kana, never.
Saka, the thing is, like I said, I'm single, I'm happy. No shoppers, I'm going to Toys R Us, and I'm fine because I don't want a relationship as well. Because now I'm never not 4. I've doubled now from 2 to 4. So I need 4 months in it's going to be more drama.
That's for the right type of person. It doesn't matter how many children you had. You could have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the right kind of guy, he'll come and accept you, never. But I don't necessarily think you should give up. I think you just got unlucky because obviously when you came out of your other marriage, you were vulnerable. You probably, what I always say and what I will always advocate for is people going through therapy or even dating yourself. Since the other last weekend, not because I say to myself, how can I expect mumwe munu to buy me flowers in any watch on maro? Exactly. I love roses and I bought myself 2 sets and I got orange near red. Ndavandamaisa mvazi mse Friday vandamaisa pa table pangu pandopinda mu living room mangu every day ndichipinda munchimatarisa ndichimaona ndichipinda munchimatarisa because I don't think what I told myself this when I came out of my marriage was I need to fix me because it's so easy to say mumu munu akadai. But then what did I do to contribute to the situation?
Exactly.
So I took time. I went to therapy. I only just finished my sessions not too long ago, and what I found is, therapy you unlock so many levels and layers of yourself that you didn't know. I'm an enabler. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you part of my story because I don't really like but I'm an enabler. In a family where me and my siblings have had contention for the longest time. And for me, it was always the element of not feeling good enough. So when I went into my relationships or when I went into my marriage, I went with the mentality of, I need you to think that I'm good enough. I need to make you believe that I'm good enough. And so when I went, I allowed, even if I look back now, there are certain behaviors that I allowed and tolerated for so long that should have not been acceptable, but I allowed it to happen because in my head, I'll give them an inch, I'll give them 5 inches. Before you know it, you're giving 10 inches. Before you know it, it's out of hand. And now kana uda kudzoredzera munhu asvika pa level yananga kuzvibvunza kuti wakuda undidzora now but pesapa you okay with the situation, so why is it different now? Why do you feel different? And they will never see what they're doing wrong because for so long you've enabled. Even in the beginning unongona ma red flags, but vakadzi with kufunga kuti rana Bob the Builder we can fix people. You can't fix anyone. You can't. And I find now that while I'm dating, I swear to you sis, ndinotoita kunge ndiri kunhuhwidza ma red flags. I'm almost like I'm really dodgy at the moment. Like even when I think I ndinogona ngomuka on the wrong side of the bed. Ndoverenga message yakantumira nezondo that no, this is this is not for me. Ndotobloka munhu yeye. I'm so Anzi Chelsea, can we be friends? I am a single friend like his same age and we're very similar. How do I get in touch? Tate, nditumire message. Ndikutsvaga shamwari ndikurecruita vanhu kumena trash gang kana uchida wekoko but ndinandisi kukupromisa kuti ndichagara ndirimo mumena trash because I want to be loved. That is for me. I believe that there is somebody that will come into your life and make it make sense because hatingaiti single handisi kuda kudhila nemadora handisi kuda kudhila nemunhu anoswera achindistressa handisi kuda murume wande ndichiudzira handisi kuda. And you know what, in the country that I live in kutori neculture yekuti manesi vakangoita manesi vanobva vaita chirwere chekusada varume. That is not true, guys. You go to nursing school, sis, for 3 years. But 3 years apa unospenda 3/4, half of that 3 years uchiita ma placements, uchiswa muma ward, uchindanzva mamento, uchiswera uchiudza mentor kuti I really like your hair, uchiterera kumashure kwake, uchicleana chiu, uchita sei, uchicleana cheve. Munoziva ndogara ndichiudza kuti tiri ma-professional British brum cleaners. Mukunzwisisa. Saka mukazoona munhu asenza, and I think people vane ka mentality kuti manesi ane mari. Kunursing kune mari chete if you're working hard, because mari NHS amayo munofenta tikakuradzai payslip ku NHS munongoti naye Jesu ko vadi kungoita homa stripper. Ndinotombozvibvunza kuti ko dai ndakadi kungoita OnlyFans account zvingadai zviri nani. But you have to work hard for you to earn the money, and it's it. When you earn the money, you're earning your money because you're spending 12.5 hours away from your husband, your family, your kids, your everything, and it's it. Wabva ikoko wosvika wakaneta onzi vhura makumbo wombotanga wanamata Jesu, wombotanga wati naye Jehovha naindoita sei. But then that's expected of you as a wife. So then it becomes a thing. It's not even it's not about manesi, it's the attitude yakaitwa by some of the SIS marriages, emanes. Because let me tell you something, Ru. The probability is what happens is once munu ashkam situation a lot of the men that come from Zimbabwe and come to kunana diaspora and the probability is, and I'm not saying it's all the time, most of the time is the men earn less than the women do. And it is. Now, as a woman, it's not my place to make you feel like a man. It's your place to be the head of the house. Whether I'm earning 20,000 more than you, 60 million more than you, it is your place to be the man in the relationship. I cannot be the man for you. And it is. And I need boost confidence because ndikutambira mari yakawanda kupfura yako yako ishoma. And I always tell people kuti in a marriage, I don't know if you agree with me, sis, indogona kuunza 20 pounds, iwo unza 5 pounds, tani 25 pounds, ndo matarisira ndozvita. But varume vemuno munyika, ukaunza 20 pounds yaunza 5 pounds, woti chino notisumuzira mabag e-shopping andawe na wari mumota, ya mosha, wandituma, wakuda shamsira nekuti wanisa. I don't like that mentality. It irritates the life out of me because there are women who are successful who are not nurses in this country. I know my business managers, like you're saying, sis, I know people in finance who earn way more than S's earn. We're not 3 times what their husbands earn. But people are quick to say manes. It's a stigma that is not nice to give other people. Because guys, if you only know one, vanofamba nezvipeneti zvakadai so zvakapaikirwa pahemba kunopinda muchipatara unongochinyamata kuti Mwari ndakuenda kwandikuenda kumasango tungamire, because you don't know what's going to happen. Hanzi kukana maimbo chingetwa kuzimu muchihora mabondi moya kuno wozona kunge wakuyambuka murume akukuchengeta iwe. Iru, can I be honest with you? And I don't know if you can agree with me, sis. Varume ku Zimbabwe vanga wakajaira ka life ke kuti ku Zimbabwe varume have those nice jobs where they work in my office, they work in my banks and stuff like that. When they come to the diaspora, it's a whole different ball game, sis. You can't white collar job. White collar job see. It's not that easy to come by. And then you can be Vakadzi, the nice thing about us, we're able to bend. You know, you can say to yourself, and a cleaner. Kana zvizo zvikunza mari mumba ndono cleaner ku Tesco. Ndova Tesco ndenda ku live in, kana ndova ku Tesco ndenda kunota kuno cleaner machembere. Varume ku Zimbabwe don't like that. Vashoma vandinoziva who would say ndakwenda nota cleaner. Because
that's correct. That's correct. And I think kuri chiripo ndechokuti at the end of the day kana muri couple kana mari yapinda mumba imari yenyu as a couple.
Exactly.
Mari yenyu kuti zvinhu zvepamba ipapo. Whether ndauya ne$10 wauya ne$2, it doesn't matter. Imari yedu yokushanda zvinhu zvedu. It's not about kuti ndeyangu ndeyako. And I think it's an issue yevarume vanenge vankoti ne-ego.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, it's true. Vanga on my top paying jobs. I worked ku bank before I came kuno kupantugara, and varume they said they were the managers. Vakadzi were like the clerks, the this, the that. The men were big earners. But you see, now when we now kuno side kuno, it's not the same. Women are earning more kwantukugara, and that problem is emanating kunoku as well. Ego, they need to understand kuti mara is yemkadzi, imari yedu de pamba. Exactly.
I always say
it's a mindset thing.
Honestly, have you never had instances when you were in that marriage where you would say, "Ngatite zvakati munobata tichaita," wozongosvika papoint yekuti regandite. Wapedza kuita munobva famba chidzana neso kuti ini nemukadzi wangu takazo. Iwo manhongo akagara papo kuti iwe nani makazoita sei? achiudza kuti takazotenga tikazofilter tikatenga cement. But when you're telling them, let's do this, sometimes they're so complacent. They'll tell you, then you take charge and do it. Yeah, idea yake manje.
Yeah. It's better
True,
that's one situation. Another situation is where paunozwa kunzi apana mari. Apa unenge wasavha mari wasungira kamari. Uchizotaura kuti pane mari yokuita plan whatever zvaka plan.
Exactly.
Unongokudza kuti apana mari. Anenge achiziva kuti mari yauti apana mari. Mangwana anozokukudza kuti ndakanotenga mataya emota. Unofunga kuti ko mari yanga iripo wakati apana mari for project yepamba.
Exactly.
Panotenga mataya. How? Achorinane kana akakudza kuti takaita tesewo takazovaka imba takaita so asina kutenga kana semendi yacho.
Exactly.
Versus mina nokudza kuti hapana mari. It's a different thing. I think it's worse in that situation.
I always find.
But I want to touch on something that you talked on earlier, regarding therapy. It's like I think after the first marriage, I'm not going to do therapy. And for me, I think healing was something that I needed to go through. I needed to heal from chironda zvekumere chekutanga.
Yeah.
And kuzvipa time yokuheala, I was just trying to get into the next relationship to prove kune ex yangu kuti ndahani munhu.
Kuti you've moved on.
Yeah. I've moved on. So I think I was also trying to prove kune vanhu kuti vandione ndazororwa futi. Saka munoti
kuti I'm not the problem. I wasn't the problem in my previous marriage.
Exactly. Andinakuheala. Exactly. Saka now I just jumped into the next relationship. And I'm going to looking like it is suitable for me at that point, not realizing that it's not actually what I wanted. And settled while I was crying alone at night, settling for Pochidora. And I think when I don't learn at annual comment, you know, you get to a point where because you're just trying to make it fit.
Yeah.
And you adjust. You know. Saka amen. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But healing, I think, is important. Healing. So I think for me now, it's been how many years since my last divorce? 3 years now. I'm going through a healing process. Like I'm not being with someone at this point in time is not really bothering me at all.
Yes.
I think for the first time, I'm discovering who I am. And like you said, you walk Mumbamako and you see the flowers that and you're happy. I think I'm starting to be happy and comfortable with myself, knowing that I can be alone and be happy. My whole life, I think history yangu and my upbringing and my traumas upbringing yangu, I've always felt the need I must always have someone, I must always have a man with me.
Right.
I must always have a man to love me, to show me love. Without a man showing me love, I'm a happy person. I've always thought those things, Kuti. That's what the life I'm living. But I'm actually realizing for the first time, I can actually be happy single. I can actually be happy alone. And I'm so worried now, Kuti. I'm so comfortable in this space I needed to a point to I might not seek another relationship.
Yes.
It is so happy to be alone for the first time that I discover who I am and what makes me happy and doing it for myself. Not expecting you know. Yeah.
And I think that really is the key, sis. I think for me that was really the turning point, because in the beginning I was just like, I can't be alone, like I've got young kids, I'm so young, I need to be married again. And honestly, truthfully speaking, I want to be happy again. I want to be with somebody that loves me. I want to spend the rest of my life with someone, you know. But I also look at the fact that for me it wasn't important to rush. It was more important, like no guarantee this is going on almost a year, right? It will be a year in 2 months or something like that. And in that whole in the first 6 months, people that only the people in my closest circle knew that knew where I was. And those first 6 months were the hardest, because I was battling whether I needed to go back. Did I make a mistake? There were so many questions in my head. And I went through therapy, right? And I remember my therapist saying to me, and I said to my therapist, look, I put in so much time into this person, nearly 10 years, right? And I'm walking away from a 10-year relationship where I've spent time helping build, mold, and shape someone. Can you come here? Can you ask Auntie Larissa to put a drink in there for me? Oh, here's the glass and some ice, please. I spent so much time and it feeling like I was, not necessarily that I physically molded them, but in our relationship, they grew as a person, I grew as a person. And now probably all the things that I'm asking for in this marriage that I didn't get, someone else is going to get. And that's what happened. And it's kind of like, well, I was asking you to do all these things and you couldn't do them, but now that you're free, you're doing these things for someone else. And it just didn't make sense to me. It really didn't make sense. But then I also discovered, Kuti, I couldn't shape them into the person that I wanted to, because if they're not ready, if somebody doesn't want to change, they're not going to change. You can't change them. Just because I have kids with you, I'm married to you, doesn't mean you're going to change. So I took time for myself. Okay. I traveled a lot in the last maybe 6-7 months. I've traveled, right? And to somebody else, it might have looked like, oh, I told him in my relationship. If I tell you, I traveled, I went home. I went to see my mom. On both occasions, I went and spent time with my family. I was with my cousins. Go. I was with my cousins. I was around my sisters. I went and I was around my mom. I went to my dad's grave, you know. I did things. I wrote a little list for myself of things that I really wanted to look at. And, you know, being around my family kind of grounded me. You know, they reminded me of who I was. Yeah. You know, and and imagine waking up every day next to someone for nearly 10 years, and then you wake up and that person's not there anymore. Whether you're talking to them or you're not talking to them, it was a really big adjustment. And you know, and then people are like, oh, but yeah. Oh, but you were so good together, you know. Oh, you guys look so happy. And it's like, well, actually, looking happy and being happy are two different things.
Yeah.
And the question was, do I really want to stay in something that looks good on the outside for everybody else, but I'm not happy and fulfilled? Or do I really want to genuinely be happy, even if it means not being in that person's space?
Correct. That's a fundamental point, because if you're dying inside, then what's the point? And what was the point? And I think the other big issue for me in marriage was the fact that partner to a point where I can want the whole issue I kind of vasectomy behind my back, me not knowing. Wow. So for years I was trying to have more kids now. Yeah. And the secret only got revealed, but I was in the IVF clinic. Yeah. And then he had to confess akaita vasectomy.
Close my door.
So I'm very unhappy on the fact that the kids that I wanted in the marriage. And I'm glad to say after the divorce, I got twins. I managed to get Vana. Saka.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have the ring and the title anymore, but I still managed to fulfill something that was very, very critical to me. Mm-hmm. And futhi age yangu yanga yakufamba, I was already, I think at the time I was 40, 41. I was 40, I think, but I got divorced years. And I got pregnant at the age of 41. And I've got my babies. I'm happy. Yeah. That's what I've always wanted, a house full of kids. Saka, I had to come to a realization, I'm not happy in this marriage. It's not giving me what I want. I actually want X and I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
And I can't get the children. Saka, yeah. Somewhere you just have to draw the line and ask yourself, Kuti, am I happy? Am I doing this for people? But am I actually happy with what I'm stuck in? Saka, it's sad. I'm not married. I'm not going to lie. It's sad. Yeah. I really wish to be still married. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have had the kids. I'm not married now, but in my twins, I'm very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like somewhere you have to draw the line. You have to say, Kuti, we look good together, but are we happy together?
Ishe, is that question
to ask?
Is that question for me, Ishe, or for the caller? Because in the 10 years of my marriage, I didn't really feel like, it's not that I saw things that I didn't like. You know, in hindsight, kind of was a Buddha. Because unfortunately with women, we're ruled by emotion. I think you kind of tell yourself, I think you can agree with me, Sis Kuti, when you're in it, like you said, it's not really settling, but you learn to adjust. You compromise a lot because in nature, I told somebody on the weekend, you know, and I was saying to them, as a woman, from the time that we were born, Anditi, I'll answer your question. From the time that you were born, you're taught from when you are young, Kuti, you need to be like this, you need to be like that. You need like my baby shower, you know? You go to all these places where you're told, Kunzi, Mukadzi, anofana kugeza kana wazvara unofana kuzvishongedza usazonwa mukaka. Murume anofana kupiwa attention, murume anofana kudai so. And I realized in all this, where we have baby showers, we have bridal showers, we have all these parties for women, we don't have a lot of events that are aimed at men. You don't have a bachelor's party and go and sit down and say, kana wa mumba, unofana kuchengeta mukadzi, you need to go to work, you need to provide for your family. Men don't sit around and talk about stuff like that. But as women, we're groomed from a young age. Kunze, you're going to be you're not necessarily a housewife, but whichever maive musha. You need to look after your children. You need to provide for your husband. You need to be at your husband's beck and call. You need to be a submissive woman. There's all these rules for women that don't necessarily apply to men. And so we're conditioned. You compromise. You know. Men don't get all those lessons. It's almost like they have a pass. And Isha, to answer your question, I wouldn't say the whole 10 years was rubbish. That would be a false representation of what my marriage was. But I can certainly tell you, maybe in the last year, I started to realize that I was dealing with somebody that just did not see the world in the same perspective as. And you know what also happens, Anditi? Yeah, exactly, Ru. And also what happens is, as you, in marriage, as you know, I don't know how many people can agree with me on this. As you get older, when you meet someone, you're at a certain age. And every year you evolve into someone different. And, you know, you almost get to a certain stage where things that you probably accepted in your 20s, you no longer accept in your 30s. You're just like, no, I don't need to put up with this. Like, I had so many friends when I was in my 20s. So many. But now I have like, I have friends, right? I have a lot of friends that I talk, not even, I wouldn't say everybody's my friend. Some of them are colleagues or people that I have relationships with. But when it comes down to it, and it showed, especially when my marriage broke down, there were a select few that really knew the ins and the outs of everything that was going on. And they were shocked. Magarambana, you know, kind of thing. Because you get to a stage where it's quality over quantity. And it also reflects in the way you behave in your marriage. You evolve. I don't know if I'm right, sis. Kuti, you evolve and you
Correct.
become a different person.
You're right. You evolve, and as you get older, I think Fakadzi, as we get older, you start to realize that this is not what you want. Yeah. And I think the focus moves a lot away from your love starts to transgress towards vana.
Exactly.
To a point where you start realizing doesn't give me the same love anymore. You evolve and you actually realize that it's not working for you. And I think you start to realize it starts becoming an issue, you know, because the honeymoon phase is over. So as that phase gradually decreases and wears away, you start flaring, and then that's when you start realizing that these were red flags all along, but I chose to ignore them.
Oh, exactly.
And I think that's the biggest problem. Maybe you could ignore my red flags early on in a relationship. We just choose not to see them because we're too much in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's also an element of tolerance, especially when it comes to me, right? I didn't wake up. I don't think anybody wakes up and says, oh, today is a good day for me to throw away my marriage. I don't think anybody wakes up and says that. But I think it's a gradual process that over time, and tolerate, that one day it will be the silliest thing that people don't even expect. Like, it's the silliest things that actually by the end make you leave. But then people don't see the build up to that because for the longest time. And and I always tell people, you know, one day is one day. For me, it wasn't important. I think I got to a stage where my story was no longer important. I didn't really need to justify my decisions as to why I did what I did. And it wasn't important for me to correct the narrative to people so they understood my side. My side wasn't that important. It doesn't really matter. It's not important for you to know the reasons why. What you need to know is I made the best decision for myself, and that's really what matters, because in the kinds got so many versions, sis, of how my marriage broke down. Yeah, exactly. What? Like it's not your life. And then at some point I was like, I really need to justify myself. Yeah, that's not the. And then I got to a stage where I was just like, yeah, no, that's fine. If that's the vision you have or the narrative you want to run with, that's absolutely fine. You go with that. Because as this is in a basa kuti ndiani akasiya ani akataura chakati ndiani akatadza ndiani, it really doesn't matter anymore. For me, I think as well, over. It was exactly, and it was hearing my daughter say things back to me, and I was like, whoa. So actually, in actual fact, sometimes parents do damage in staying in those relationships because
Exactly.
Your kids are seeing you.
It's so true. And the funny concept here, Matt, that. Sorry, Sis Cherry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Funny concept here, Matt, that one therapist actually gave me many years ago. Akati, what we don't actually realize, when you come into a relationship, you come in as an individual. A concept here, sets. You've got set A and set B. Then when a concept, the intersection of sets, where the two sets come together and there's a common area. Saka, what we fail to understand as people when we get into relationships, I think most of the time, is that like you talked to initially, you fail to realize which are an individual. They are who they are.
Yeah.
The way you are who you are. You can't influence or change the way that person is going to be. Especially when you need to understand there's a common ground where you two come together, where you have your relationship, and you still step away and be who you are, and he is who he is. You understand?
Right.
And then common ground. It's a very important concept, I think, to just you mustn't lose who you are. I think my biggest problem is I've always lost who I am to try and accommodate or to try and make the other person love me more or accommodate me. And this is nonsense.
Yeah.
I snap and then I lose it and I'm like, no, man, I'm not happy.
Yes.
I'm not happy anymore. But it's honesty. Am I honest to myself? I can't blame the other party. I must take accountability for what I have done in relationship. You understand? And then, especially coming out of a divorce, I think the biggest challenge for a relationship or even Varume now is to forgive yourself, to acknowledge during that relationship, right? Taking stock of all the things you did that were good, all the things that were bad, and then forgiving yourself for maybe forgiving myself for accepting Dora for so long.
Sis, I forgive you. I absolutely forgive you for accepting Dora. Please, I forgive you. It should not happen again.
Thank you, Sister.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree. I think I'm just in that era now where who Chelsea's, because you get so lost in being a wife and your mom being you're a lot of things for other people but yourself, like you're saying. And then you wake up one day and you realize, like, I've actually shortchanged myself. Because guess what? Is your ex married now again?
No, so you know what happened? And then they kind of went on holidays after lockdown, and they thought they were going to go back to work. They lost their jobs. They're both unemployed. It's such a sad story. But unemployed now. I don't know what I'm so young.
Thank you, Jesus.
I feel bad for them, but I don't feel sorry.
I don't feel sorry for them.
They deserve each other.
If you're out there, I hope you enjoyed your holiday. That was the last one. I don't feel sorry for you. But
that's a lot. And remember, Zwachi, sometimes I think as women, what we don't understand is, like, especially you now going into the dating game, what you pick up is you find this man, right? And then nice. The
grass is always greener.
minute you take that man away from me, anosiya mombe dzedu anobva asakara.
Exactly.
You don't realize that he may look good because I'm making him look good. You don't know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And now akatora murume iyeye because this man aipfeka mawachi ake efake ekuchina. He looked clean, he looked good. We went kuma holidays. We used to go to US every holiday shopping. We would go wherever we want my holidays locally. We were living it up.
Exactly.
But it was near big rangariri.
Rangariri.
Exactly. But now she didn't realize kuti murume uyu anga tanga tichishanda tese tiri tese. Like she thought kuti this man had the bag. He was the one doing the hard work. It wasn't the case. And now she got the man that he really is, the broke ass.
Nine zangu anakirwa vachiudzwa kunzi my wife I pay for all the holidays. Vachinyeberwa muchisonerwa bhodhoro muchikabira. The grass is only greener because someone else is watering it. And that's the honest truth.
Exactly.
Because he could even have the money. It could have been his money, but still, he had a good woman with a good head on her shoulders. And that's probably why he was thriving. Now, just because I nditengera zvakati doesn't mean he's going to come kwauri ukutengera zvakati or he's going to thrive as much as he was thriving with me, because we're different individuals. How you operate and how I operate and how I run my household is completely different. And so that I find it very insulting, especially like, you know, because the probabilities murume will go and talk shit and trash about his ex. Just like you would, like I would go probably and say, my ex was this, was that. And it, munhu wese anongashida kunatsa kwake. But fair vanozongona kuti vanozongona kuti munhu ari sensible ndiani.
Exactly. And I think in Chakaita, the deal breaker was near Kutakanuta the vasectomy, and I had to find out who clinic to do Shangaita. He didn't have the audacity to tell me the truth, to do Shangaita. All these years in Chingo Samadalana, I think that for me, younger deal breaker. How do you lie like that? That is cruel. It's evil.
It's very evil. But you know, I don't know whether it's, maybe yeVarume can tell us. I don't know whether yeVarume just choose to be ignorant and you know, I never get it, because I feel like even my movie on Avanoeta, you know, they come out of a marriage 2-3 months later, munato move on now post a moment, and you sit there and think, huh? Did you just come out of a marriage or on City? Grace, you know,
no. You know what, Sis Cherry? What a friend of mine actually said to me, because after 6 months now, he's telling me about this woman. Oh, we're getting married. I found a friend of mine. You know, this guy's getting married to this girl. He's known her for this actually. I'm like, he's known her for 6 months. She can say, now for 6 months. I'm like, what's wrong? She can say, this guy was seeing this woman, Uripo. They just want to formalize it now. Half the time, I don't want to name cards. I don't to Uripo. So I think with relationship after 6 months after charter. It's not true. This woman has always been there, behind your back.
Sis, 1 second. Gianna, what is going on? Can you close my door? Take your book and take it downstairs. Take it downstairs. Take it downstairs. Raphael, iwe Rafa tongwe wewe. Unodena iwe. Akakana udena.
Raphael anonakidza man.
Raphael siswacho anoonesa files. Mukona zvandikutaura kuti from a young age unenge uchicompromise. Katotanga zerero rikari kukipisa munhu busy muno. I mean, your ex was cruel. For you to be a whole Decepticon and go and get a vasectomy and not tell the person you're living with, could you? I've got the snipka. That is that is next level.
You don't do that. And then you marry me and we thinking we're starting a family, and I have to find out in the marriage because I mean, if he was honest with me, Kudara, I would not have gotten married to him. I would have just moved on. You understand? I see Shakaita was very cruel. I think that was just that was the main reason. And besides my assets and stuff, what else are you going to lie about?
And the caller, when you date your ex-husbands, we wouldn't have been part of your marriage. You can leave a long-term relationship marriage, then get with someone you are more attracted to first. What you wanted. Anna, can you explain that to me more? What do you mean? What you wanted? What did you want? Because for me, right, it's the question is then that I beg to ask is, why didn't you leave? If you were so unhappy with this woman that you're with or this man that you're with, why did you stick around long enough? You know, you could have left. This is the thing is, I feel like marriage is a death sentence. Just because I married someone doesn't mean I have to be tied to them. If I'm unhappy, you know, somebody said one statement to me per weekend. Kuti mama reasons anabasa. The most important thing is happiness. And maybe they settled with the wrong person. Munenge mangu to time push. Anna, okay. Also, because the truth of the matter is, it's so easy for you to believe what this other person is bringing to the table. And my assets and you makabuda now I hope you fought for all your hard work. She did.
Yes, I did. I told him to take his money and I kept my property. So yeah, I kept my stuff, he took his stuff. Whether it was the grill, whether it was the cutlery, the crockery, I kept everything. I kept the TV, I kept everything that he came into my house with. Exactly. So I got more than I bargained for.
As he should.
Yes.
Where was he taking stuff?
I told him another woman can't eat in the place that were in my house. She must buy her own place. I kept everything.
Unenge uchida uzvipire munyama uchitora mukadlari nezvinhu zvemumukadzi. Build. You're not going to build on my tears. I've been here before.
Exactly.
And I've been here before. Ndakatosiwawo munhu abata mari. These things happen every day. It's sad, but it's reality. That's why I don't date people who've been married before. I don't feel comfortable with divorced men. Wow, Anna, that's an interesting perspective. So, do you date people who've never been married who have got no kids? Because me, I find that that's even more difficult. If I'm honest with you, I mean, at this point in my life, I really don't. I'm hoping I just find someone who's already got kids that don't really want to have any more kids. So then we can just blend our little families. Because then I could have to my baby daddy. Not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like it's just a big complication. And I really weigh the consequences of me doing that and then maybe risking that marriage doesn't work again. Then now you're having to deal with two different people. I mean, I think one baby daddy is enough. They've got enough drama to last me a lifetime. I cannot imagine having two and having to deal with the two. I think it would drive me up the wall.
Saka, where you have a blended family, we had a blended family, but I didn't live in
Right.
But for some reason, this child hated me. She just could not accept me. I met her only 15 years. She just could not accept me. And my kids accepted. And what I picked up was that he could discipline my children, but I could not discipline his daughter. I drew a line in Papa. So his child was untouchable. You cannot touch my child. I deal with my child. She's my child. But I cross a line because he was living with me and my children. And I found that to be an issue. Because I did it. I needed my names and stuff. But I will discipline her myself.
But I feel like
it's a bit tough because if I'm going to play the mother role household, I'm going to discipline all the children. You can't choose discipline. The dynamics get a bit tough, you know.
But
it's not the same for all relationships, but it can get very tricky.
Because he had no respect for you. So how was she going to learn to be respectful of you and your space if her father is not being respectful of you and your space? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's also a reflection of probably what he was saying or how he left her mom. Do you understand? So then now you're always gonna be the other woman in the sense that I've seen my dad treat my mom like shit. So why should I respect you if my dad cannot respect the woman that gave birth to me? This is what I'm always saying, you know. I say this to my brothers because I've got brothers who have children with women that they're not with, and I always say to my brothers, the way you teach the mother, the way you treat the mother of your children is a reflection of how you are as a parent, and your kids will emulate. If they see you being nice to my Rabo, they would think, okay, fine, mommy and daddy cannot be together, but our dad still has a certain level of respect for my Vedu, and they will take those life lessons and take them into their relationships. All my brothers have sons, and I say to them, now. In 10 years' time, they'll be doing the same thing. You are not breaking the cycle. You're going to have to teach these young men how to be men. And how you teach them how to be men is by showing them, okay, fine, and this is my but you need to respect your mom. If your ex
Correct.
makes a decision about vana, if it's a reasonable decision, you're going to have to stand as a unit. You want to be, you're a part-time parent, but you want to act like you are the best parent. You're not. And it shows.
Correct. Yeah. No, correct. This child, Cherry, you're correct.
So I think I wanna maybe vachibatwa rough, you know. And she saw how her mom was treated. And so the anger really wasn't with you. It was with the man that created her. But because you were probably the easiest outlet. And for her, you're an object of her mother's marriage failing. So she will then act out in that sense. And maybe punish her, like these men are stupid, you know. Possibly I told kuna ex-wife wake achinotaura nonsense. And mwana was hearing.
Possibly because Raiti kande zvokuti panga stakara neni aigara kumba kwake, which was like literally 3 k's away from my house. And weekends dzaiona mwana wake, I never saw him. He would not pick up my calls. He would not talk to me. He would not have me at his house. He would just tell me, Kuti, my daughter's around, so don't come over. Basically, I the manager. He was managing the situation.
Yeah.
So how he managed it was whenever he was with her, he kept me away. So I was not non-existent. But you're right. I mean, I told her needs Karango and she's but obviously. She's nothing. Maybe she's just she's just a nothing.
Exactly.
I don't love her.
And
like that.
My weekends, well, my vachopa mwavetu we all say mwana. And the next thing, pakusia mwana, kiribeta arku, no skota say, kupareta disability yake kadora kake, achidzokera kune ex-wife. And it confuses vana, you know. And then mwanaro and a confusion. My mom and dad are doing this, they're chilling, they're probably sorting out their relationship. Only for her to find out when he moved in with you, ko zvapera. Iye achitoita ke basa rekupareta madisabilities ake kunzoko. Achifamba chikunyadzisai.
Correct. And they never leave the mothers of their kids. And you're right. They never do. It's the truth. I think in a way, not in a sense that they never leave them, they're still with them in a relationship.
Yeah.
But ndofunga moyo wake was still invested kumkadzi wekutanga nenyaya yekuti vane mwana vese and he didn't have vana neni.
Yeah.
And I think the other reason yanga asikadi kuti vana neni was because inyaya yokuita broke, nyaya yekuita
he couldn't afford it.
Anga asingadi kuvhura bag.
Yes.
Anga asingadi kubvisa mari yokuchengeta vamwe vana. Because he just told himself kuti ana mari. Aiziva financial standing yake and he would kuda vana. So I think that's the other reason yevasectomy. Anga asingadi kuita financially liable for more lives.
But anga asina ma problems nekupareta disability yake achiswera chinyudza kadora kake everywhere. I don't get it. But exactly. That's the thing. And the truth of the matter is, unless mukadzi ane boundaries or maybe I move on, you know, ane momun, you know, and it's so hard. I say this all the time because I've also got other friends that are, you know, divorced that have kids. And that's why you have to really establish my healthy boundaries, you know. I just forgot to we become toxic shame. Because the a problem entitlement saka you can't come and piss at me here and then you want to go and live your best life outside. No, it doesn't work like that. And then it now becomes an issue but no, really, I need to protect myself. Like for me, our boundaries are so extreme at the moment. I think hopefully one day we'll get to a space where we can co-parent. But every time we're in a good space, one way to chat, you know. And I find, so now I found it's easier for me to just establish my healthy boundaries where you don't come to my house, you're not in my house, you pick up your kids, the conversations about the kids, you know, nothing else and all that stuff.
But you see, Terry, it gets a bit complicated because it's wherever you meet and
keep talking.
It's about the two of you. And then relationship starts building up. It doesn't come to your house, you don't go to his house, the kids don't know each other, you haven't met the kids and your relationship is next thing you're like, oh, it looks like this relationship is going somewhere. I want to meet the kids. Now he comes over to your place, he meets the kids, somewhere where you meet his kids, right? Love. and your red flags ako ese wamaona, you're like, okay, this guy anama red flags, he's ticked all your boxes, wataura kuti ndiye the one, I'm settling for this guy, Next thing, now you introduce the children into the equation.
Right.
That's where the dynamics get interesting. That's where things start falling apart. That's my experience. That's what happened. Fire until the kids had to come into the equation. Then now my dynamics change. But cause trouble in relationship. Now what do you do at that point in time? That's where you realize do I meet someone else? You can already see
right.
What do you do? It gets very complicated very quickly. Well, now, because maybe the kids don't get along, or maybe the kids are being influenced by their mom. But I guess maybe in the age group as well.
But
if you're in your 20s, it makes a difference. But if you're in your 40s, where are you going to meet a man as Nalana? The thing is, 40 years,
there's a problem. There's a problem.
Any complications, problem.
I'm very worried.
Perfect.
Oh, you have to look at the bright side of life, sis. You're not dealing with Dora anymore. He's not your responsibility. Imagine, but akoma, mama tozvipira kuti for life, Nedora.
But I told myself, I'm not going to lie. Just found I took what the tango,
sis, ndofana utomeda nemukujordan kumbonotibwa. Commitment for life. Kutonoti I do.
For life.
Nekadora. No, man.
Wait, I say. That's the thing. That's what we call settling. You settle for what you have. You settle. Otherwise, they said, and somewhere you need to draw the line.
Hi, sis. No. Not Dora. That's where I draw the line. That's where my line is. Padora, never. God, please, may it never be my portion in Jesus' name. Because no. So good in those square. You're fake. Hey, no. Aibo. Mkoma wangu, please, next time notanga maita interview atisi kuda madora mbakwetu.
But ukazozvifunga, unoziva kuti unogona kuzvidzora moyo mako ufunga kuti kwanozodiwa onani.
Aiwa, andisi Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa wakafa, my guy. Andingaswere ndichiita charity work. Ndoti kuita charity work ku community dora. Community dora rinofamba display ma disabilities. Nyika yese itoziva kuti kumba kwamainhingi vanodyanisa dzani matemba. Vamwe vachidya noriver. Aiwa never.
Aiwa. But you know what? Chandofara ndechekuti ndakabuda mazviri. It's water under the bridge. I've moved on neupenyu hwangu, and I'm happy, and I'm just glad I'm not there anymore. I am just glad I'm not there anymore. Move on.
Sis, me, I'm even gladder for you. Kana chiri chirungu chinonzi gladder. I'm gladder for you because
Thank you.
Ndikunyatsofunga kuti madhezi aunenge une stress paipa ubva stress kuti une nzara bedroom. Kweta nzara aiwa no. Nzara ngaite 1. Atingaiti nzara 2020. Ndikanyatsofunga kuti munoziva kuti no.
Unoziva chipa akazondinakidza manje. 2019. I think ndopanga mukadzi uyu manje uyu. Kubva achema rimwe zuva mumubhedha, kubva achema zvikazi hatisi kuda kumira, hameno chii chiri kuitika, ndine stress. I'm like, what's wrong? I don't know. It's not, I can't get it up. That's when I thought to myself, ndikati chii? I'm like, this is where I draw the line. I'm like, Shaita. Maita basa baba. There's the door. I'm done.
I just could have say. Jesus is Lord. Blood of Nebuchadnezzar. I just quit a say. Unochimisa. That's a kunyeba. Chino unochimisa. Chirombomira same every day.
Chichimukira kuna mai vaye yofunga kamushenda nemishonga chaimukira kwake sanga kukumba kwangu pazvakaitika mukadzi iwe rudzi rwake vanhu vemushonga saka mukadzi ndofunga pane zvaakamuita chakati kumuka kwake singamuki kwangu ndakati no, this is nonsense.
Kwenda kunganga kunomutsa Dora. Yes.
And I thought to myself, no. And then I opened back the one day, I found a bottle of Viagra. And I'm thinking to myself, I just turned 40. Even when you was 53. And I'm thinking to myself, right, is one thing. For me to accept munhu mukuru mudhara pandiri, I must accept mudhara asina big. I was like, no,
wow.
This is enough.
What, my chest? Kadora kunobwira Viagra dora.
Koita se tomutswane.
No, nix. Hi, nix. I
was like, this is enough. But I was sure, honestly. But now it makes sense. When I look back, now it makes sense. Angari busy nemkadzo
Alright.
Angari busy panze.
Alright, kana foreplay zvayo. Kana alright, ngatingotiwo foreplay.
Ndichinamatire manje inini ndoti ndashaye. Aiwa.
Lollipop. Maitodhila nelollipop.
Aiwa, lollipop kuita sei. Nekuti zvaita sei.
Kwangu ne foreplay. Sama mune foreplay here. Akoma mungandiudze na ndofunga 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 no.
Aiwa zveforeplay yabasa rangu inini manje nawo ndite munamato ndinamate ndiverenge mabhesi nditanga kunamata nditanga kuimba machorus kuti chimuke usiku hwese ndovata nguwai
ko iyewo kungofadzawo okay alright kana une dora unofanira kutanga wapedzawo masports ukambodya ukambura kunge munhu ari kudya spaghetti paipai ukambura kusvikira bhebhi ratunda paunozopinda paipopota pebongo kanyautota ndosaka wanga usiri kuinzwa kwete kuti hauna foreplay
mari hapana unoziva chi ndo yanga iri game yake iyoyo aifarira sham foreplay yanga zvanga zviri zvinhu zvake. That's why I think for so many layers ndiri blind ndisingaoni zvakanaka because foreplay haanga aigona masports aipedza masports masports aipedza but zvinhu izvi
saka kana wanga netangame alright zviri naniwo because hapana munhu haungabva wazoshayawo kana tangame aiwaka
ndifunga ndoya ndakagarirawo pawambobvunza pai kuti shuwa nguva yese wanga wakangogarira chidora pamwe ndaingogara iyoyo yoga iyoyo
no
you see
maingonidhoka foreplay aiwa haibo
but paakazoti azaichamuke ndikati aiwa kana muchina usingachashandi engine yanoka achitsvage neengine
waitake kurova kudai so
wakatangira papi aiwa zvenyu I'm too young for that.
Kukarova kuti mugari.
Aiwa, that's when I actually realized kuti nyaya madhara yaizibho. Madhara kana une 20 years, dhara re 30 years riri bho. Kana une 40, dhara re 50 something ari.
Ndiri kumona akarara pambedha achiti aisikumuka. Ibotere ndakumutswa.
Munhu akachema mumubhedha kuchema zvikanzi musozikira so. I'm like, gee. Something's wrong with me. I think there's something wrong. I must see the doctor. Something's wrong with me.
Ndimaitamba nako kaonda fit.
I had to draw the line. That's when I was like, no, this relationship is not worth it. Apa ndopea mabills ese apa munhu akuti nditange kunamata semavhesi.
Akoma munozoti nyerere inototaura penge. Ndikutoshaura kuti muchiri normal. Unobva wati uchiona kana Titanic paepisode yayo vanenge vari mvura ubva wati drown here because unenge une nyere apa dora ari kuramba kumira
ungakuenda kumasowo unopiwa muteuro apa shamwari aiwa no aiwa
ukajamsataga
muteuro kumasowe
unenge uchikajamsataga uchikarova sokuti muka
kana engine yanoka ujamstart haitombostart kana wadira diesel mupetrol inenge yatonoka
unofonera unofonera rake ukati mota haisi kumuka kunoku maifanira kumbofonera maini
unotoisa kuscrap yard hapasisina you can't
unoisa mainini vaifanira kuiswa paspeed down mongo watitumirai manoodles because noodle hairisi kumira kuno kunoodle
aiwa I walked away. I couldn't, guys. But the bottom line is I'm happy. I'm happy. I was actually selling my toys at a point in time, and then the company that I was selling for, they closed the operation. So I just received a bag of all my samples that I needed to take to parties to demonstrate. So I've got a whole I've got a whole bag in my house. Ndongoketa, ndongochuza kuti nhasi ndiri kuda John. Ngatimbofamba naPeter nhasi. Vane mazita vese kutoisa asi. Nhasi mbofamba naSamuel, you know. So that's just the life I'm living and I'm happy.
Honestly, I think
because my size acho ndinoketa ndoda.
Exactly.
Madora acho apana dora big mango.
Mune trauma, mune PTSD, Dora.
I think I need to take medication. To talk about medication, I can't. It's guys. It's just I don't know, but I think for people who are in relationships with Madora, maybe they are happy. I think at some point in time you're happy. If you don't know any better, you don't. I guess.
I refuse.
Shiriko.
I rebuke it. I rebuke it. I speak against it in the blood of Jesus. Hakuna, never.
If that's all you know,
Hakuna all you know.
You know, right?
Hakuna all you know. Sometimes unombochika chingwa chine dovi, mumwe musine butter, mumwe musine sanjem. Hakuna all you know yakadaro. Aiwa. Aiwa. Kutoti hanzi munhu akadaro ndamuchema kubuda ndaibuda murelationship ndichimhanya fast kumhanya, run with your life and never look back.
Aiwa, but if it's your first experience usingazive kuti dora ndondo iri ndononzi dora unozvizivira kupi, in all honesty.
Okay, I'll have a look. Ndichatarisa Kira. Aiwa, no, I'm really glad that you managed to come out of this, because I can tell you, sis, level ya mama zvipinza no. Kid, I think it's because we're not friends. I'll have to try and look for the DM. I'll look for it. I promise I'll look for it. Because no. Oti kupareda ma ningirikini ma disabilities akopanze. Aibo. But you know what? This is how you know, Kuti. Sometimes women don't marry for materialistic things. People marry for love. I think they want a kid.
Correct. I think you're right, because specifically when I start talking per se, I just wanted someone to be in a relationship with, partner and have more kids with, be a male figure to my sons. Initially, it's like I think you compromise. Other things you just decide this is not so important.
Yeah.
You make a compromise. I guess it depends what things are you willing to compromise and what are you not. And I can hear from you from what you're saying, Badora, you're not willing to compromise. I think it's something that you're not willing to accept. It's more along those lines. Is it really important? No, maybe we can just go with it. It's fine. We can just settle for what we have.
Yeah.
As long as I have a partner, I'm happy. He makes me happy. He makes my kids happy. Really happy. What I had set out for myself, right. Short, and I think I just decided, you know. But then with time, I think to a point where I was like, no, this is no longer a negotiable factor.
No, yeah. Aungagare 9 plus yes plus uchimba zvandapiwa nashi. Aiwa, no.
That's true. Somewhere you draw the line. But I was even willing to accept I had no issue with that. But
yes. Chakatonoseka kunze kwokuti munhu anoita penis enlargement ari busy kunoita vasectomy. The nerve.
Exactly.
The audacity.
The nerve.
The order.
Just to make sure. So this happened in 2014. I only discovered this in 2017.
Jesus.
3 years later. Close to 4 years later.
So he had the vasectomy. He had the vasectomy while you guys were together?
Yes. We met in 2011.
Lord Jesus.
And then 2014, I went in for, what do they call that operation? A myomectomy, where they remove your fibroids.
Yes.
So I went in for that. And the time I was busy recovering from my myomectomy, that's when he went in for a vasectomy, secretly. And just I was recovering. It's like, I can't go through his recovery in secret as well. It was very convenient for him at the time. And in 2017, I find out, Kuti, that's what he did.
Kuzipa pressure level yoyo kuti munhu unoenda kunochekwa kanhu katori kadiki kudhara.
To make sure kuti kasashande.
Ndosaka kanga sisamire.
Probably, because I think in my side effects, I'm not sure, but I think in my side effects paari. You know. No, it was a disaster.
Kumba kwava kuri kunakidza right now. Trust me, no money. If there's two things that kill a relationship, rubbish sex and no money. Believe you, he's living his best life.
But another thing I remember, because my sex drive was very high and Yake was very low. I think because of the age younger akushika, it had just deteriorated and mine was peaking, right? I was getting to my 40s and getting to that age. He was now past 50. I think his was deteriorating.
Yeah.
Can you believe put him and he used to complain every time. I'm like, Gatimbo, I'm not a machine. I shout, I'm not a machine. And this is the engine. You can't just turn me on. I don't have buttons.
Clearly you're not. Clearly you're not.
Exactly. But now, turns out, I'm 56 years and this lady is 54. So he found a woman, Aneta, Angoro Neshakio. So I think Vanongoimba Kumbaya Vongovata with like 30 out of 31 days Vanongovata because they're just feeling the same vibe.
Exactly. Akuna. Kana kado vane like ambuya kana vari kuiwana kaduro.
Exactly. But I think she's happy because maybe high sex drive, so maybe they're very happy.
It's more
so
companionship.
I'm happy for him because maybe he found what he was looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him because maybe I couldn't give him what he wanted, or maybe I was demanding too much from him that he could not give me. But yeah, I think akazowana muna anoda. Ndizongotsvaga wangu anondifadzawo. I'm ready.
Lucy, I can't wait to turn 40 kana muri kuti sex drive inotangira pa 40 ndakuda kutokusvikawo. Atinga vanhu vanganakirwe vega. That's why I'm saying to you, sis, I think you're so young. I think you should try again. I think you definitely deserve to have a better experience. Like you deserve a man that's going to love on you, and make it make sense. Because, man, they ngori mwana wangu ndakakufonera kana ambulance mu relationship mako kuya na ambuya valence je we kuti mbudisa mwana wedu no.
Do you want an ambulance? Maybe you should have sent the armed response.
Because
the
no.
Squad, squad guns.
Bomb squad chayo
I'm just laughing at Nadrishani and the audacity of having a vasectomy iwe unechi roll on. That's so
imagine. True. Sure. Ane kasho kanonzi kasho kaangana kuka. Roll on yatinesa mwapwa. The audacity, the nerve, the ability to do that. Imagine.
No, but I think for me now it's just the admin. yeVarume, I think I'm just not. I'm not in that space, and also because the twins are very young, they just turned 2 a few months ago. So I think I'm still focusing on them.
Yeah.
And they're keeping me very busy. So I think attention yangu is just more on them. But I think as they get older, I will change my mind about relationships and maybe I'll try and seek another one.
Yeah.
But this time it must be Muno Anemari. I really want to see I don't want to see bank statement. I want to see financial statements.
It's just a reference from your ex. To that lunch with your ex so we can be like, so what happened? What went wrong?
Exactly. And what about a white guy? Definitely, I'm actually thinking now, Portuguese. I want to find a rich Portuguese from Portugal, Mozambique.
Wow.
And I can go for holidays. Yeah, that's my target now. And I'm done. And when they are colored, so it will look like Vanavelu. It will just be perfect. Saka, yes, I'm definitely going to go for a white guy this time. And a mad. Saka kana ne pras Mozambique.
Siblings, vanema pras wofuti. Moba mazonduzo.
We want the land. We're trying to take back the land.
Exactly. Wow, that's so interesting. It's literally.
But all the best for you. All the best with your relationship endeavors. And I wish you find someone that will love you the way you deserve to be loved and respect you.
Yes.
And make you happy. I think that's the most important thing. So I wish you all the best with your future endeavors with regards to relationships.
Oh, thank you. I think at the moment I'm just really enjoying my kids. I'm enjoying elevation in my career. I've just been. This year was a winning year for me. I think I just told myself I want to win on a personal level. And I think the nice thing is I've managed to tick some of my boxes. I wrote myself a little to-do list this year, and I think I'm halfway through my list, maybe if not 3/4 through my list. And I think after that, the person that's going to walk into my life and sweep me off my feet, because I do want to be swept off my feet, will definitely not have a daughter, and will be like the luckiest person, because they're finding me. They're going to find probably the best version of me. Maybe even the version that my ex didn't get, So I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I definitely want to be in love again. Like, I definitely want to, I'm going to dive back in. I just feel like right now the focus is just elevate, edify myself, kind of thing.
Well done.
Maneru maikuda, yeah. So can focus on, like, it was so nice rediscovering Chelsea, because there was this little girl that was lost in me that really just wanted to come out, that was screaming to be found. And now that I know who she is and what she wants, I'm allowing myself to just relax and let nature take its course. And it's not kuti my streets are apparently from what I hear, my streets are no peace. But I'm somebody who's very positive, who likes to look at the bright side of life. You know what, what's meant for you will be for you, regardless of how dirty and dusky the streets are. Mujolo no gonna piece out like say, but shonongo ka design wana mwari kunzi zvinde zvako will just be yours. So I'm hanging on to that.
And I think I also want to say thank you for this conversation. I think these conversations really help, because the times that I've gone through my divorces, Angu, I haven't had like similar people with similar experiences to chat to bounce my thoughts off as well, so I can maybe see that, am I the only one going through this? Are we having similar problems, etc., having similar challenges? So thanks for the platform. I think it's been very informative for me. And I think many other people out there that needed to hear this. And I know we won't go to negative, but this is my truth. And if it can help someone today, I'll be very happy.
No, thank you for sharing. Absolutely give me hope that, sometimes when you hear other people's stories, you're like, right, okay, my shit was like a walk in the park a little bit. So then it gives you like, we learn a lot. And I think a lot of people learn. Sometimes we need to hear other people's stories. Yeah, Brenda, tadzidza. In that tadzidza, kuti ndikaona Gilbert ndingakapfeka Rolex, ndotanga ndamudzwa kuti unza receipts. Ngatidzokere kushop kwawakatenga, honestly, because those are the things that entice us. It's so easy to get drawn into these things. I absolutely I enjoyed my conversation with you. It was brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sis Cherry. And I think also being in the diaspora, I think for the first 10 years that I was where I am, 10, 15 years, I had no friends. I had no one to talk to. I had no one like Kumusha to speak to. So my platforms are Facebook Live. They're very informative, and they help us to connect with Kumusha and like-minded people. So these platforms we totally appreciate. They're very great. And I think SIS MELLY Diaries is doing a great job. Ne platform EOE. We talk real life issues. We discuss things really pertinent to us. It's not all about the bling and the hype. It's about the real life situations that we're going through.
Yeah.
I really feel like Nasi and that visa something I've actually spoken about it. Maybe I can actually start to forgive, because I've got a lot of anger inside of me.
No, it's therapeutic. Definitely keep doing it.
Yeah.
Share some more.
Thank you.
Okay, sis, thank you. Kisses to my babies, especially the twins.
We'll catch up. To your babies as well. and to your son.
Rafa Dong.
Raphael, yes, definitely.
I will do, sis. Thank you so much.
And thanks, Diaries. Thanks so much. Thanks for the conversation.
Okay, bye.
All right, cheers.
That was so nice, guys. Okay. Mazvinzwira saka ndozvandainga ndatumwa kunzi ndiye nakola yeipa live nasi. Siyanai madora. Mazvinzwa? Oh, sorry, Lucy. Oh, unotozona chachimunya sha. But my advice is, siyanai madora. Don't settle. Dzidzai kushandisa matoys. Dzidzai kuzvifadza. She's very sweet. She's a really nice person. And it takes balls to come and share your story, because I'm still trying to figure out, how to navigate my situation. So thank you, caller. Thank you, Sue, for sharing. But my dad is got thank you for being so kind to me. And sana mbona ma nasty comments. Inin pangu pesenda sakura ndazunza. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. SIS MELLY one day ndichamboyazovafurumutsa kana ndane simba ndichazoyazonyatsoshare ndombokunakidzai ndombokufadzai but vari kuuya kubow 10 the first 10 people to see me ndoda kutengerai madrinks Sherry. I don't really know, this is not no, don't settle for less, Brenda. Do not go for madora. Do not go for fakes. Do not go for nonsense people. Don't go. Tamba ini matoy. Ndokudza inini ndiri mukuru wazvo. Ndatosumza rukuru wangu. Mukaya kuinbox kwangu kana mchinyara kubvunza panapa munouya kuinbox ndokudzai kunowanikwa matoy masvino. But musatambe nona Gilbert vane madora. First time seeing you, I enjoyed you too. Thank you, Brenda. I think this is my third time on here. SIS MELLY just was like, oh, I need you to host. I'm busy. So I said, I'll help. I'll jump on. And I think it's also nice because open bar at the bar is now confirmed. Hey! Gore not dark what kazvirega. Murikuiona here comment rega ndikupinirei. Mozoti hanzi madwine kudharidza nonyemba. Mazvona kune vasingazivi kuti open bar zvinoreva kuti doro ndere mahara. Saka kana kwane open bar, vai vasati vatenga matickets. Kira, come back into my inbox. I think I messaged you back. Come back into my inbox. Ndichataura naMaitau today about your ticket. Ndichataura naMaitau about your ticket. But hanzi mazvinzo hanzi open bar kubo musa 24. Ndachida kudriver zvino no. I think kamota kaenda ukapaka. Yeah, Kira, I think if you responded, I'll say, babe, I've actually responded back to you. And I'll speak. They pay. Ndani they pay. Who's they pay? Maitau. Oh, lo. Do you plan to do the discussions every Monday? Or is it? Isha, I just was I was just asked to step in from for SIS MELLY. Mukandipa topic inonakidza ndodzoka. Mukafunga topic inonakidza ndinodzoka. Fungai topic motumira SIS MELLY and I'll come back. I'll definitely come back. Mangwana ndikuenda kuma measurements ehembe yangu because it's going to be custom made. Saka and futi and hands guests who pay for alcohol. Okay. Yeah, guests who pay for alcohol. For that's kunenge kune open bulk. Mari dzenyu chete makadhi enyu moya nema credit cards. Gilbert we dora wazvinzwa uye ne credit card rako kubo. Da ukudya mari yako iwewe. Uye ne credit card rako kubo. I'm so bond and serious independent. Then she tore about drinks from everyone. Thank you very much in advance. Ndoda kutobuda imomo ndichikambaira. Ndakupaika warning kuti SIS MELLY vanenge vakadhakwa. Muchazvionera. Yeah, so yeah, it was lovely chilling with you guys. I'm gonna go and get some family time in before vanoenda kunorara. My tickets asara 9. Ndozvandoziva ini kuti lin open bar noreva kuti free bar. So ndatone confusion. Tondera hanzi pane 3 matickets awakapromise. Please. Tuudawo mari yedu. Saka kana tondera ne 3 akapromise panenge pasara 6 matickets. Hey. Guys, hurry up and take your tickets, please. Get your tickets before zvavhariswa. Len, there is talk about a live, but I think that will be at Maitau's discretion because she's the chair lady where organization committee bowl, so it will be at Maitau's discretion, and I'm not sure what she's gonna say. Sherry Eyes, thank you, babes. It was lovely seeing you. Anzitsaburu kanyasha tsa Jehovah. Oh, I love the kisses. Yeah, saka kuna vachiruda matickets Maitau vakatomira, so achingoenda. If they're gone, they're gone. You're finished. So jump on the hype and have a good night, guys. I appreciate your presence here. Thank you for entertaining me. I will see you soon. Ndikapiwa futi mumkana mongonyengera SIS MELLY pamunowana next time kuti dzosaka kaka twin kenyu keke, and I'll come back. Okay, guys, I'm going. Speak to you soon. Bye. Good night, Lynn.